You probably don't believe me when I tell you that today's deck list started as a Magnezone list, and now there's not a Magnezone to be found. What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a look at Cramorant and Pals, the Lost Boys, Lost Zone and Friends, you name it. Cramorant is our star. Cramorant allows you to do some phenomenal things. It is a one prize Pokemon with the ability, if you have 4 or more cards in the Lost Zone, this Pokemon attacks for free. Doing 110 damage, doing 110 damage that's not affected by weakness for free is a very good card, and getting 4 cards in the Lost Zone is not as hard as you think. So how do we go about it? So our key ways of getting 4 cards in the Lost Zone for that attack is flower selecting. So once during your turn, if this Pokemon's in the active, look at the top 2, put one of them into your hand, put the other in the Lost Zone. So we're going to try to use Scoop Up Nets to pick up our Pokemon, reuse this ability, ideally once or twice on the first turn if we go first, once or twice on the second turn, and then of course we're going to pair it with Colress's Experiment. So look at the top 5 cards of your deck and put 3 of them into your hand, put the rest of them into the Lost Zone. 1 to 2 flower pickings and a Colress's Experiment gives us 4. Cramorant's online turn 1. Very, very easy to get going, you would not believe. So circling back to the mentioning of Magnezone. So Magnezone was a new Pokemon V-STAR that I was excited to try out, and I was excited to pair it with the Lost Zone, and it just wasn't working. So every revision to the deck found me cutting back on the Magnezone, going from 3-3 to a 2-2 to a 1-1, and then ultimately I was like, wait a minute, I'm cutting this Pokemon out. But I still needed a hard hitter in the deck, which brings me to Dragonite V. So Dragonite V has an attack for 250 damage, water, colorless, that does 250 and 20 to each of your benched Pokemon. So prior to Lost Origin, this was a very awkward Pokemon to power up. But with the new tools available and the Lost Engine, we can use Mirage Gate. So when you have 7 cards in the Lost Zone, again, we showed you how we're going to get those cards up, you can now search for 2 basic energies of different types and attach them to your Pokemon. So as you see, we use Mirage Gate to grab a water and a lightning, and then we put a water from hand onto the Dragonite. And now we have a 2 prizer that hits 250. We have a 1 prizer that attacks for free. You see where this is going? And the other notable new card to include is Drapion V. So this Pokemon has an ability that fixes our once ugly Mew matchup. So this Pokemon attacks for colorless less for each Rapid Strike, Single Strike, or Fusion Strike Pokemon your opponent has in play. So 4 energy requires 4 Pokemon. Your opponent plays 2 Genesects and 2 Mew, or any combination of the Fusion Strike tag. This thing, you slap it down, you knock out the 3 prize Mew VMAX, and you call it a day. Many decks have not adopted the Lost City tech to kind of deal with this and the Radiant Charizard. So right now, we're getting away with just the 1. If that does pick up, I would certainly look to include a second, because having a free matchup in Mew VMAX is very, very nice. It helps deal with one of the big threats and lets Dragonite deal with those pesky V-Stars, because with a Choice Belt, we knock everything out. And the last card I want to talk about that lets everything go here. So if you have 10 cards in the Lost Zone, you can put 12 damage counters any way you like. So towards the end, we can clean things up. We can use Lost Mine. We can pepper damage in. You name it, we can do it. Sableye is our cleanup tool at the end, or hitting things on the bench. So say if they're hiding something that was damaged, Sableye's got your back. So this is the deck list. So it started as one thing, it became another, and then I absolutely fell in love with where the deck was. Cramorant is such a powerful attacker, so it was really hard to put this deck down. I was messing around with Magnezone. I'm like, man, I want to come back to that, but like, I really don't want to put this deck down. So then I was just kind of in that point. It's like, well, what do I do? And I kept playing games with it, and I kept winning, and I'm like, holy, we stumbled into something good here. So do I want to go first, or I want to go second? Well, they're a dark deck, so we'll go first, just to deny the evolution. We can make this work here, so we'll be fine. But I didn't expect it to go as well as it did, and then just chattering with some people, we were like, oh, well, what about, playing Dragonite? Because it plays into this. So look at that. So we can go Quick Ball, and then we go Capture Energy. We will grab another Comfey. And it was just, the deck kept winning, and I was in such shock. I was like, are you kidding me? What is going on here? Like, this deck should not be functioning as well as it is. But yet it kept doing things, and I'm like, okay, this is getting a tad silly. This is getting out of hand. And then, what do you know? Like, okay, this is perfect. So, I'm going to put the bird down. I'm going to show them what I'm doing. And then I'm going to pass. And yeah, like, Cramorant basically says, okay, you know what I mean? Like, we're not ready for Mirage Gate. So, I was like, okay, 7 cards it is a tall ask in the early stages of the game. Cramorant is, it's a tall ask. So, it just, hitting for free and being able to put energy elsewhere is very, very nice. So, rule the region. So, then, I'm wondering if they let me have the Manaphy. Are they going to give me the Manaphy and not realize what's coming? Or can we play into... Oh, okay, I want that. We will most definitely play into that. Okay. Because we don't need any energy on board yet. We don't need to start trading. So right now, we're doing fine. We're doing swell, which is what we wanted. So we go flower picking. We'll take the Scoop Up Net. We don't need the Escape Rope. When decks play the Empoleon V, I'll pop that on screen. When they play Empoleon V, all I can think is, oh, can you go away? Like, please and thank you. And, okay, so I don't think I'll need that. Let's go 1, 2, 3. I don't need either of those, so we'll put those in hand. And now, we do what we always should be doing our counts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're 1 away from Mirage Gate, which is fine because we're not overly concerned about it. So right now, we will pick that up. And then, let's see. Let's just get to the Mirage Gate in case they try any funny business. Mirage Gate. We are there now. Perfect. And now we can not worry as much. Like, we know we'll get there. When we're ready to do things, we will do things. Okay. But yeah, I kept playing with the deck, and I'm like, okay, what is going on here? This is ridiculously consistent. And then you win 7 games, you win 8 games, you win 9 games, you blunder, and you deck yourself out chasing for key pieces, and you're like, okay, well, that's on me. But it's like, I'm not worried here. Like, look at this. Oh my goodness. Okay. So. My opponent doesn't know what's coming. Do I know what's coming? Not really. So let's try this. Let's go this. Okay. What would we like here? So, and in this case, Colress is more or less just feeding us into the end, which is a tad unfortunate, so we don't want any of those. We'll take everything but. But this is where the Radiant Greninja is going to come in, because we're going to quick ball. We're going to drop a quick ball. Uh-oh. There we go. Okay, so far so good. And Palkia is a deck that you're not really scared of. Like, you're not. Once I see the Mirage Gate, or 2, or more. Okay, so this is... It's not the worst, but again, we can still apply pressure with the Cramorant. And, okay, let's see, what are we doing here? So let's go Lightning Energy. Don't tip our hand too much. I can't imagine them getting the tip off with that. We'll save that. So, we'll do 110. And it's just, you know, Cramorant and buddies. Consistent 110. Consistent 110. 110. 110. We can take out the Inteleons. We can take out the Drizziles. Hell, if we want to chase down, you know, their other Pokemon, we can. Like, if this deck opts to put Bidoofs, or if it opts to put Sobbles into play, we can easily deal with them with, we now have, I keep forgetting, I'm always counting throughout the game, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so Sableye is in play, it's fair game. I have not tipped my hand to a Dragonite V yet. Should I? Most likely I will. I will show my hand and I will come after that Dragonite, and I'd be very inclined to take out the Radiant Greninja. So, to kind of minimize its effectiveness, I would love to pick off... Let's see, what do I want here? Okay. So let's go, we'll pitch a water energy. We are digging. You do see the bottom of your deck rather quickly, which is really nice. Look at this. Okay, so we're going to go Dragonite. We are going to go Choice Belt. We're going to go water energy here. Make sure there's anything in there. So we are going to Ordinary Rod because I'm guilty of forgetting or not keeping tabs on my prizes. I am very guilty of that. So we are making sure that there are suitable targets in the prizes to deal with what we want to do. So we will go Mirage Gate. 1, 2. It's good to know for later in the game. 2. And then we go Attach Return. Scoop Up Net. So that denies the Radiant Greninja. It makes it less enticing. And then, of course, we do not want them to have that. So then, what we're going to do is Dragon Gate. And as we still have the full 220, they have to jump through hoops to deal with our small bench. So right now, like, I'm enjoying things. Like, this is Palkia, and Palkia is doing Palkia things. But we're not locked into a full bench like an Inteleon engine. Right now, we're saying, oh, you do what you do. We're going to try to do what we do. And we're not overly concerned because what Palkia needs, the Choice Belt and a full bench is 160, plus the belt is 90, plus my bench is 210. So they're not returning KO on Palkia or on Dragonite without the Echoing Horn. And there's no Pokemon in there, so they can't do anything. So he has to soften up something with the Radiant Greninja and map out his turn for later. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. So, we're not chasing Palkia. We're not chasing damaged Palkia yet. Oh. Interesting. Is this where they hit me with the Roxanne Path? Oh, snap. Okay. Okay, we can do that. Interesting. Okay, so our deck was... Okay. So, we're in a bit of danger, I guess? Just a wee bit of danger. I might have to bench that Drapion. I really don't want to bench that Drapion. Okay. Okay. Horrific. Okay, so let's go this route. And then we shall put a second Dragonite down. So there. We're not worried about the donk. Or not the donk, the board wipe. So now we are required. Okay, so that is actually really, really good. So Radiant Greninja has to take the Dragonite, and it has to take the Greninja. But I can Mirage Gate and take KO unless I draw the water energy. We will find out. Okay. Let's see. What shenanigans? We should be fine. Sorry, folks. Roxanne Path is a lie. It is a lie. So, I'm not gonna, drag it out there. I would really like to see people pick up the list, mess around with it. Dragonite is one of my favorite Pokemon, so if you enjoyed the content, be sure to hit that like button. Drop a comment below what you like, what you dislike, what you change, what your plans for Magnezone are. I am scratching my head in frustration between that card and Aerodactyl. I want to pair it with the Lost Engine. They're new cards, you know, obviously I want to try it. They're not clean enough for the Inteleon engine, and Babarrel might be the way to go, ideally. So, yeah, like the video, drop a comment below. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. It would be huge. We're trying to hit 1,000 subs by the end of the year. And until next time, guys, take care.